It's no secret that Vermont is a beautiful place. Driving around, there's always something spectacular to see, but I found another way to check it out that's on a different level.
If you've ever wanted to feel like a bird, then soaring might be just the thing for you.
They're sailplanes because you're really sailing in 3 dimensions. So we go up and not just up and down. The tow plane takes us to where we can soar.
Soaring uses the natural movement of the atmosphere to stay up, climb, and travel long distances in a plane with no motor.
But there's no engine. One thing is missing.
There is.
There is?
It's up there.
Oh.
You have to find the engine. The tow plane takes you to where the lift is.
Okay.
And it's a rare day when there isn't some form of lift up there. And today we're going to look for mountain wave, which is the best form of lift there is in terms of it's smooth once you get there, and it's sustainable, and you can go to heights that are unbelievable in an aircraft with no engine.
Okay.
So the world record, I think, for altitude in the mountain wave is over 51,000 feet.
Wow. We're not going that high.
We're not, because you need oxygen above 14,000 feet.
Okay.
Flying since he was 15, Sugarbush soaring instructor Rick Hansen is taking me on my first ever glider ride. The planes look pretty straightforward, but looks can be deceiving.
It looks simple, but this is a fairly complex aircraft in terms of design. You can see a lot of compound curves on it, which you can get with fiberglass. If you look at the trainer behind us, not so complex.
You're right.
So that's what makes this performance a lot better.
Okay.
This is a very aerodynamically clean aircraft.
I'm excited.
Yeah, this is fun. It really is fun. And this aircraft is designed to do one thing, and
What?
that is it turns energy into altitude. Okay.
Charlie just crossed.
Okay, I'm gonna drag the rudder pedals. We're gonna go here.
Okay.
So here we go.
Now.
And away we go. So we're in the air. We stay low until the tow plane takes off.
To get up in the air, another plane with an engine tows you up.
There he goes. And we're turning toward the Green Mountain Ridge line.
Wow.
So it's a beautiful view from up here. Once we find a place where there's lift, we can release from the tow plane, and we will do what we're supposed to do with a glider, and that's sail. Sailing in 3 dimensions. Right now we're going up at about 500 feet a minute.
Wow.
And you'll watch turkey vultures and hawks and eagles doing this for hours at a time.
Going up is exhilarating, but the real fun comes when you break away and it's smooth sailing with nothing but the wind as your guide.
We're on the top of a hill in the middle of a valley between the mountains. So there's no such thing as level out here. Once we went up to about 3,000 feet, we could see most of the state of Vermont, and we could look over into the Adirondacks and Lake Champlain.
Along with being breathtaking, the location allows the opportunity for pilots to soar in 3 different forms of lift: thermal, ridge, and mountain wave.
We towed over through a little bit of rotor, and you felt that little bump when we ran through the rotor. And the tow plane is flying us faster than we need to fly, so you're going to feel that bump a little more. So we got into the rotor. It smoothed right out, and that's mountain wave. So we had a little light mountain wave, and we were going up at maybe 1 or 2 knots. Came back, and we got into a little thermal. I made some turns there above the golf course, and we found that we were going up at 300 or 400 feet a minute. Then we flew over to the East Ridge, and we flew in the ridge. And so all 3 forms of lift are working today in the valley. And so find any one of those, and you can stay up.
So it was a good day.
It was a good day. It's not like airline flying where you're a passenger. You're a participant, an active participant in the act of aviation.
Rick isn't kidding. He even handed over the controls at one point, but I quickly found out I much rather ride than
And
drive.
if we lower one wing, like that left wing, you'll notice it'll slowly turn left.
Right.
So that's
You let me fly for a little bit up there. How'd I do?
Scary.
That was scary.
No, you did very well.
If you want to learn how to fly and not just go for a ride, Sugarbush Soaring also has lessons. For kids who want to build their confidence and sense of self-reliance, there are youth programs. Kids as young as 13 can sign up. Jude Farley is 15 years old and was able to pilot a glider by himself last year.
It was incredible. The best way I could describe it to my dad was, it's like a BMW with a view.
Jude is taking his dad's word on that since he doesn't even have a license to drive a car yet.
It's really nothing to be afraid of. In fact, it's probably one of the best experiences of my life so far. I don't know what else I'd do during the summers. This is how I occupy my time up to 5 days a week.
When he's not flying, he's helping other people get up in the air.
I saw a bunch of kids my age working on the line. I just thought, well, why can't I do that? And then I realized I could. And so I've been working here this is my 3rd year.
What is it about flying that you like so much?
Just being in control, but at the same time knowing that you're just a little plane in this big sky, and you can see all over Vermont.
You can go up in a glider from mid-May until the end of October. Once it starts snowing, it gets too cold for these planes. There's no heat or air conditioning.
It's a great way to see more of Vermont than you'd ever see from the road. When you can get up there and look down, and you can look into New Hampshire, New York, and Massachusetts, and I pointed out Mount Escutney to you down there, so that's 40 miles away. You can see a lot of Vermont you'd never see from the road. And during foliage season, it's just a riot of color up there. It's beautiful.
An incredible and uplifting way to see the world.
That's the best part of it, is when you're off and by yourself, and it's you and the elements.